and I think we're close to doing it.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Lovin'. Puppy Lovin' is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayanne Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
The U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for Donald Trump's administration to pursue mass government job cuts and the sweeping downsizing of numerous agencies. In a brief unsigned order Tuesday, the court said the Trump administration was likely to succeed in its argument that his directives were legally within his power. The decision could lead to tens of thousands of layoffs while dramatically reshaping the federal bureaucracy. The ruling stemmed from an executive order Trump issued in February, ordering agencies to prepare for mass layoffs. The decision is the latest win for Trump's broader efforts to consolidate power in the executive branch. The Supreme Court has sided with Trump in several cases on an emergency basis since he returned to office in January, including clearing the way for implementation of some of his hardline immigration policies. While Tuesday's decision cleared one major legal obstacle for the White House, the court noted that it was not assessing the legality of any specific layoff plans at federal agencies. Those layoff proposals could still face legal challenges on a variety of grounds, including union opposition, statutory restrictions, and civil service protections.
Wall Street's main indexes closed higher on Wednesday, with the Dow adding roughly 0.5%, the S&P 500 gaining about 0.6%, and the Nasdaq climbing just shy of 1%. The minutes from the Federal Reserve's June meeting showed most central bank officials expect rate cuts later this year, with inflation from President Donald Trump's tariffs expected to be temporary or modest. Meanwhile, Trump on Wednesday issued trade letters to more countries, calling for tariffs of 30% on Algeria, Iraq, and others, and 25% on Brunei and Moldova. The European Union has said it could reach an outline trade agreement with the U.S. in the coming days. Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, said investors will likely remain on edge until more deals are reached.
Tense is the word I would use to describe this market right now. You know, we're slightly positive on the day and on the week, and really it's around when are we going to see some more substantial information from some high volume trading partners. We've got a slew of letters that went out, nothing really impactful. Really all you have to work with is the Japan and South Korea. Those two combined make up roughly 12% of the imported goods volume, and 25% is within the acceptable tolerance. So we're just finding, waiting on bated breath for more news from higher volume trading partners.
Perhaps the biggest market news of the day may have come from NVIDIA, which became the world's first company to hit a $4 trillion market value Wednesday morning before giving back some gains. The milestone solidified the AI chip powerhouse's position as one of Wall Street's most favored stocks. Other movers included AES Corp, which rallied nearly 20% after Bloomberg reported that the power provider was exploring a potential sale amid takeover interest from large investment firms. And Boeing shares gained more than 3.5% as Susquehanna raised its price target on the stock after the plane maker reported its June airplane deliveries increased 27% on a yearly basis.
All right, foggy this morning, scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon with temperatures today in the low 80s. Partly cloudy skies this evening, giving way to considerable cloudiness and fog after midnight. Lows in the mid-60s. Friday, morning fog, afternoon sunshine, mid-80s. Saturday, partly cloudy, upper 80s. Sunday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Monday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning at 67 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 67. Titusville 65. Franklin 66. Oil City 65 degrees here at 7:13. This is the morning drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Happy, let's say Thursday already. No, Thursday. That's crazy. Hard to believe a week ago we were all excited about getting ready for the 4th of July weekend, and that's a week later.
Here and gone.
Yeah. Hey, some interesting news stories here this morning. Your days of being frustrated by a sluggish smartphone or laptop could be coming to an end. Scientists have discovered a new technique for controlling electronic states in quantum materials that could eventually make our gadgets up to 1,000 times faster.
Whoa.
Yeah, quantum materials are those that display strange behaviors and properties governed by quantum mechanics. They provide a glimpse into a separate realm of physics where the standard laws don't apply. So blah, 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 blah. It's could make things a lot faster. So, yeah, kind of a interesting headline this morning. How about this? Get your thoughts on this story here this morning as we keep you in the dark. There we go. We'll turn the lights on for you over there.
Maybe I like it in the dark.
Uh-huh. I have to double check this, but this was from, I think, Science. Republished by Golf Ledger. People who are obsessed with golf may be more intelligent, study shows. There's a direct connection between golf obsession and performance on cognitive tests, researchers say. Now, if they were to come here, it would probably go against their research.
Yeah, that's why they didn't test.
That's why they skipped here altogether. Mm-hmm. Keep driving. Just keep going. Don't stop. So, kind of a fascinating headline there. People who are obsessed with golf may be more intelligent. Or they just don't want to work. They want to get out and play.
Either way.
Listen, I know a lot of people, you get to this time of year, right? Summer. Mm-hmm. And they're excited because they can kind of spend less time in the office because their companies are, paying for them to play in golf outings, and they're out quite a bit over the summer. Now, there's the opposite of that. I know some people where when you look at the budget, that's the first thing that gets cut out of somebody's budget, playing in golf outings.
Yeah.
But business continues to get done on the golf course.
It does.
I think even when you don't intend to talk business can come up on the golf course.
Definitely.
I don't know. We got out a couple weeks in a row. Didn't get out last weekend. I was like, I had this tick, on Monday.
Yeah.
I missed it. It was fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to make plans for another day we can golf, but you're like, ignoring me.
I'm not ignoring you.
Uh-huh.
It's just a lot going on this time of year. But to kind of feed into this headline, maybe we should do it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to bail on work today and go?
I'll bail tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, here's another cool headline and story. A study analyzing open table data from 8,282 restaurants across New York City's 5 boroughs found that it would take, I'm going to have you guess, X amount of years to dine at every listed restaurant if someone ate at one each day.
6.
6 years?
Yeah.
No, but we'll come back to that. Guess again.
Oh my Lord.
This is to eat at one restaurant every day in New York City. How many years would it take to eat at every restaurant?
Am I too high, too low?
Low.
Really?
Yeah.
10.
Nope.
15.
Nope.
25.
Okay, now you're high. 22.7.
Wow.
It would take almost 23 years to eat at every single restaurant in New York City.
If
you did once a day. Yes. Now, if a person dined out 3 times a day, that time needed would shrink to 7.5 years. So you eat 3 meals every day, and you can do it in 7.5. Now, if you break it down by the borough, the study estimated it would take 12 years to cover all of Manhattan, 5.5 years for Brooklyn, 3.5 for Queens, and just 6 months for Staten Island.
So 8,285 is what it turns out to be if you...
Yeah, close to that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that at the very beginning. From
Well,
8,282 restaurants.
I didn't pay attention to
I
that.
know. That'd be a fun challenge, don't you think? You know what the bigger challenge would be? Like places that open and close.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure that happens.
More than...
Yeah. So...
I mean, and are they counting every McDonald's or just McDonald's in that?
Well, this says here, you'd have to look it up. Open Table.
Oh.
So if you go to Open Table,
Gotcha. Okay.
every restaurant that's listed on Open Table, and there's probably others that aren't listed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was fascinating.
It's a fun challenge.
Yeah. So
There's got to be somebody in New York City who's like taking that on. Like, I want to do this. Some bachelor who doesn't like to cook. Right?
Sure. It's a fun challenge if you go into the city to kind of find a place.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'd ever be able to find it again. I'm sure if we looked up a receipt, we could find it.
Which one?
The was it the Irish pub place?
Oh, yeah.
Now, they were swamped inside. They were completely packed, but they had outside seating. And we're like, yeah. Now, I think it's kind of stormed a little bit.
And it was hot.
But it was cool. We actually sat and ate on the street.
Yeah.
Like, not on the sidewalk, on the street. Because they had these... this was based off of COVID.
Yeah, an enclosed pergola, basically.
Yeah.
On the side street.
I think businesses had to remove them.
Well, that's not cool.
To clean things up. But, we sat on... This was 2 years ago. But it was a cool place. The food was outstanding.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
And I'm glad we kind of came across it. But it just seems like in New York City, I don't know if it's just because everything's so... There's just so much. It's just kind of... This is going to be dumb. seems like it's kind of hard to find restaurants. I mean, there's little delis, and there's, we've done that.
Yeah. And then you come across one, and it's like, this 5-star taking out a mortgage on your home kind of a...
Yeah.
For a family of 5.
Well, I was, it's funny because I was going through some pictures yesterday looking for something, and I came across a couple pictures from that trip from a couple years ago. I think there's a picture of you outside of like this Harry Potter store.
Yeah.
Which was what, like 3 stories?
Yeah, it was so cool.
It really was. I don't know if it's...
I don't know.
Like, that's a place I'd like to go back to because it was cool.
It was awesome.
But, 2 years ago. And then, of course, you got to get a slice of pizza somewhere. Or a bagel.
A bagel. That's 100%, yeah. We didn't get one, though. A bagel.
We saw one across the street, I think, when we first walked in or got off at Grand Central. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get a chance to... it seemed like we were kind of in a residential area, weren't we? Or am I thinking of something completely different?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
Okay. Like, we didn't exit out like one of the main exits at Grand Central. I don't know.
There were like office buildings everywhere.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't residential at all. It was like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Must have been watching a movie. And
Exactly.
Confused.
I'm like, whoa.
I'm not saying like I'm not saying like a residential.
Yeah,
but
but I'm just saying there was no.
Okay. Well, I thought there were like some apartments and some green space.
No, there was no green space. Nope.
It was all pavement.
Mm-hmm. All glass encased office space and.
And the smell. Love the smell of New York City.
Said no one ever.
True.
Ew.
True. I don't know. It's just.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I'm ready to go back.
Let's do it.
I don't know why. It's like every, 10, 15 years, it seems like we get a chance to go. It's like, it's not that far. All right, we're going to be getting into birthdays and what we're celebrating here this morning. Today's the 10th of July. Already. Mm-hmm. So, you want to start with birthdays?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. We'll start with birthdays here this morning. Who's celebrating?
Are you ready for it? Singer Arlo Guthrie is 78 today.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. City of New Orleans.
Actress Sofia Vergara is 53. Actor Adrian Grenier is 49. I'm going to screw this up, like, majorly, okay? Actor Chiwetel Ejiofor is 48.
Ah, and who is that?
He is from, my gosh, what was the Martian? He was the NASA guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Was he also in the Jurassic World movie?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think he passed away, that guy, that actor.
Yes.
Okay, that's not who I'm thinking of. All right.
Singer Jessica Simpson is 45. Actress Isabel Merst is 24. And actress and singer Lily Brooks O'Brien is 19.
All right. Happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you. Today happens to be your birthday from all of us here today. Let's turn the page, find out what we're celebrating here on this 10th day of July.
All right. It is Clara Hugh Day, Conway River Festival Day, Don't Step on a Bee Day, Feast of St. Rosalia, Global Energy Independence Day, Gospel Day, National Kitten Day, National Pina Colada Day, National Pizza Day in Brazil.
Oh.
In Brazil, yeah, sorry. National Wyoming Day, Pick Blueberries Day, Political Flag Day, Teddy Bear Picnic Day, Transplant Financial Coordinator Day, and that's about it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I could go for the pizza thing. Can we just pretend it's here. I'm actually hungry now that we've talked about food in New York City.
Now, you're thinking of a nice thin crust, greasy pizza.
I believe today would have been Nikola Tesla's birthday.
Yes.
Oh, that's on your list?
It's on the bottom of this, but it didn't cover. Yeah. I didn't cover. I covered birthdays before.
Right. Antonio Brown's birthday, 36.
That's it?
And old enough to know better.
That's all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 36.
Yikes.
I see. The only reason I'm searching up birthdays is I'm trying to find the actor that you mentioned, so I could see what he looked like. Because I'm getting confused. Oh. No, wait. Who's the actor again?
The Martian. And he's the one who had to come up with a solution to get him back. And he traveled to like another shop and back. Right. And
it's all right. Well, I'll have to look some other time here. Maybe during the news break.
Okay.
Now I'm kind of curious. Weather-wise, how about this for today? Looking at maybe scattered thunderstorms developing. There's a marginal risk of severe weather today. Foggy this morning. Did notice that, so be careful if you're out. That
was cool.
Driving. Marginal risk of severe weather. Thunderstorms developing this afternoon. Highs today in the low 80s. Partly cloudy skies this evening, giving way to considerable cloudiness and fog after midnight tonight. Lows in the mid-60s. Not quite as humid last night, I noticed. So it was kind of it was nice. Pleasant. Pleasant sleeping. But then we roll into Friday with some morning fog and then some sunshine in mid-80s. Warming up a little bit this weekend. Upper 80s on Saturday. Low 80s Sunday and Monday. We're coming up on the bottom of the hour. We'll have the latest headlines for you here this morning. Angela Morton will be joining us before we wrap things up on the program. Looking forward to that. She hosts Recovery Is on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Mr. Bill Allen will not be with us today. He's got some other things going on, but we look to reconnect with him maybe next week or the week after. So we'll have Bill on and let us know what's been happening out at Titusville Ford. So
awesome.
Yeah, a lot going on there as summer rolls on here in Northwest Pennsylvania. All right, this is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Pirates with the loss. We can talk about that. Shocking. Some business headlines coming up, too. Kellogg is going to be sold to an Italian company.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's all coming up here.
How realistic do you think a ceasefire is this week?
Well, we're talking about Gaza for the most part. I think we have a chance this week or next week. Not definitely. There's nothing definite about war and Gaza and all of the other places that we all deal with so much. But there's a very good chance that we'll have a settlement, an agreement of some kind this week and maybe next week if not.
Axios says a secret White House meeting between Steve Witkoff, Ron Dermer, and a Qatari envoy on Tuesday led to significant progress in the negotiations over the Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal. What can you tell us about this
It's
secret
very possible.
meeting?
I will tell you we're getting very close to a deal. I don't know if it's secret or not secret, but it doesn't matter to me. Secret's fine if it gets us to where we want to be. We want to have a ceasefire. We want to have peace. We want to get the hostages back. And I think we're close to doing it.
Kick off your summer by saving big at Community Chevrolet's Summer Kickoff Sales Event. We wanted to call it the Dog Days of Summer Sale, but that made Clark too excited.
They told me I had to go outside if I started barking.
Save more than 10 grand off MSRP on a new Silverado, like the electrifying 2025 Chevy Silverado EV. Or hit the beach in the all-new Chevy Malibu RS and save nearly 4 grand. The Dog Days of the Summer Kickoff Sales Event. This month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old. So it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
The U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for Donald Trump's administration to pursue mass government job cuts and the sweeping downsizing of numerous agencies. In a brief unsigned order Tuesday, the court said the Trump administration was likely to succeed in its argument that his directives were legally within his power. The decision could lead to tens of thousands of layoffs while dramatically reshaping the federal bureaucracy. The ruling stemmed from an executive order Trump issued in February, ordering agencies to prepare for mass layoffs. The decision is the latest win for Trump's broader efforts to consolidate power in the executive branch. The Supreme Court has sided with Trump in several cases on an emergency basis since he returned to office in January, including clearing the way for implementation of some of his hardline immigration policies. While Tuesday's decision cleared one major legal obstacle for the White House, the court noted that it was not assessing the legality of any specific layoff plans at federal agencies. Those layoff proposals could still face legal challenges on a variety of grounds, including union opposition, statutory restrictions, and civil service protections.
Wall Street's main indexes closed higher on Wednesday, with the Dow adding roughly 0.5%, the S&P 500 gaining about 0.6%, and the Nasdaq climbing just shy of 1%. The minutes from the Federal Reserve's June meeting showed most central bank officials expect rate cuts later this year, with inflation from President Donald Trump's tariffs expected to be temporary or modest. Meanwhile, Trump on Wednesday issued trade letters to more countries, calling for tariffs of 30% on Algeria, Iraq, and others, and 25% on Brunei and Moldova. The European Union has said it could reach an outline trade agreement with the U.S. in the coming days. Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, said investors will likely remain on edge until more deals are reached.
Tense is the word I would use to describe this market right now. We're slightly positive on the day and on the week, and really it's around when are we going to see some more substantial information from some high volume trading partners. We've got a slew of letters that went out, nothing really impactful. Really all you have to work with is the Japan and South Korea. Those two combined make up roughly 12% of the imported goods volume, and 25% is within the acceptable tolerance. So we're just finding, waiting on bated breath for more news from higher volume trading partners.
Perhaps the biggest market news of the day may have come from NVIDIA, which became the world's first company to hit a $4 trillion market value Wednesday morning before giving back some gains. The milestone solidified the AI chip powerhouse's position as one of Wall Street's most favored stocks. Other movers included AES Corp, which rallied nearly 20% after Bloomberg reported that the power provider was exploring a potential sale amid takeover interest from large investment firms. And Boeing shares gained more than 3.5% as Susquehanna raised its price target on the stock after the plane maker reported its June airplane deliveries increased 27% on a yearly basis.
Where we are in this market right now, my biggest concern for investors is being too broadly exposed to too much of this market. What we're really seeing is in terms of earning structures and growth on balance sheets, it's out there, but it's not everywhere. And so if you own too much of this market, if you're too broadly exposed to an index, or if you own too much of it, you're going to end up owning a lot of bad stuff with the few good names that are out there. So this is one of the few times that you'll see me advocate for being a little bit more concentrated. And you can do it in a special way where you can own some more, I would say, quality or defensive names, but also barbell that with what is actually driving growth right now, where we're finding those AI and AI adjacent types of names. So you could have on one hand, what were the old Magnificent Seven, but if you take out Apple and Tesla and add in Oracle and Broadcom, and then look at really big banks like JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, Bank of America, those types of names, along with Caterpillar, John Deere, Raytheon, some more defensive type of structures, what you have is the ability to capture growth, but also insulate yourself from volatility at the same time. So things are definitely starting to wobble in certain parts of this market. It's going to be important to pay attention to those higher quality things like low levels of debt and not just the rate of growth at any one point in time. NVIDIA reaching $4 trillion in market cap today, obviously a milestone, the first company to be able to do that. And really, I think it's a story about the durability of their earnings. They've been continuing to beat earnings expectations time and time again, and the scale of the beats has still been growing. They've been able to double their revenues year over year over year. Now they're even switching product lineups, and they're finding more demand from the newer product lineup that they're bringing out. And what we're finding is, on the AI trade, it's all coming down to compute and the power of compute. It seems like NVIDIA really has cornered the market in this particular process. The highest functioning chips, but also the bigger systems. Now we're converting from air-cooled to liquid-cooled, things that are going to be, I think, easier to adopt from an infrastructure perspective. They're making it easier, better, and faster compute. All of that leads into this $4 trillion market cap that we achieved today.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said Brazil will be charged with a 50% tariff on products sent to the U.S. starting August 1st. Trump made the comments in a letter to Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, in which he also expressed support for the country's former president, Jair Bolsonaro. Trump has been critical of the BRICS nations, of which Brazil is a key part. Earlier on Wednesday, Trump said Brazil had not treated the U.S. fairly on trade.
The formula was a formula based on common sense, based on deficits, based on how we've been treated over the years. Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all.
Trump's letter said the 50% tariff will be separate from all sectoral tariffs. Brazil's real tumbled over 2% against the dollar after news of Trump's letter to Lula. Brazil's government said it would meet to discuss the reaction to Trump's 50% tariff on Brazil following the announcement.
OpenAI is stepping up its challenge to Google. Reuters sources say the ChatGPT maker will launch its own web browser in the coming weeks. It will reportedly use AI to fundamentally change how people surf the web. That's a direct challenge to Google's Chrome browser. It currently dominates, with over 3 billion users and more than 2/3 of the market for such systems. Chrome is also a cornerstone of Google's earnings, generating much of its online ad business. It also drives people to use the firm's search engine by default. Now OpenAI could hope to grab a big share of the market if its browser is adopted by all 500 million weekly active users for ChatGPT. The sources say it's designed to keep some interactions within a chatbot-like interface, rather than prompting people to click through to websites. It would also integrate OpenAI's so-called agents, which can perform tasks for users, and it would give the firm direct access to another of Google's great treasures, user data. The move is part of a broader strategy by Sam Altman's firm to weave its services into consumers' personal and work lives. In May, it took steps to enter the hardware business too, paying $6.5 billion to acquire an AI devices startup founded by former Apple designer Johnny Ive. On Wednesday, rival AI outfit Perplexity launched its own browser. Dubbed Comet, it too is capable of performing tasks for users.
We need to raise the standards across the entire internet ecosystem.
Linda Yaccarino, the CEO of X, announced on Wednesday that she is stepping down from the social media company that is owned by billionaire Elon Musk. She made the announcement in a post on X suggesting it was her decision and said, quote, "I'm incredibly proud of the X team. The historic business turnaround we have accomplished together has been nothing short of remarkable." She did not give any specific reason for her decision to leave the company. Musk thanked Yaccarino for her contributions in a reply post. Her departure comes at a turbulent time in Musk's sprawling business empire, including falling sales at his EV maker Tesla and AI-related controversies. Daniel Ives, managing director of Wedbush Securities, says the move by Yaccarino to step down is a step back for the company.
Look, Linda's a key part of the foundation of X. Her leaving, it's definitely, I believe, a step back for X and a worry for the platform. There's a lot of challenges ahead. And she was really thought to be a leader for the coming years. Her leaving is a surprise.
Yaccarino took the top job back in 2023 to help Musk transform the company after he bought it in a $44 billion deal. Here's Yaccarino talking about the platform at Vox Media's Code conference that year.
The foundation of X is based on free expression and freedom of speech. Everyone deserves to have that opportunity to speak their opinion, no matter who they are.
Currently, X is dealing with a heavy debt load, and Yaccarino has had to often deal with controversies stirred up by Musk, including his endorsement of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories in late 2023. Her resignation from X comes just a day after Grok, the AI chatbot developed by Musk's startup XAI, posted content referencing Adolf Hitler on the platform. The posts were later deleted following a public backlash, and Yaccarino wrote she was working to restore advertiser confidence and prioritize safety on X. Neither X nor Yaccarino said who will take her place, and it was unclear when her resignation would take effect.
Ferrero Rocher chocolates and Fruit Loops cereals could soon make a tasty combination. Italian firm Ferrero is close to acquiring US cereal maker WK Kellogg, according to a Reuters source. The Wall Street Journal says the deal is valued at about $3 billion. Shares in WK Kellogg, which also makes brands like Frosted Flakes, surged 55% in late trade Wednesday amid the reports. Neither company immediately responded to a request for comment. Ferrero has been looking to expand in the US. Over the past few years, it has acquired Nestlé's chocolate business in the country and ice cream firm Wells Enterprises, the maker of Blue Bunny and other brands. Ferrero now has 15 plants across North America employing over 5,000 people. WK Kellogg is the cereals arm of the former Kellogg Company, having been spun off in 2023. It's been struggling with weak demand as consumers traded down from its pricier brands. The other part of the original business is now known as Kellanova. It makes snacks including Pringles chips. Last year it agreed to sell itself to Snickers maker Mars in a $36 billion deal.
In his second term, U.S. President Donald Trump has vocally and controversially championed white South Africans. Citing false claims that they are being persecuted in South Africa, Trump has cut aid to the country and invited Afrikaners, descendants of early European settlers, to come to the United States as refugees. But now, Trump's threatened 30% tariff on South African exports could deal a blow to that same community. Christian Morton is a sixth-generation farmer in Western Cape Province's citrus heartland.
It doesn't make sense for us to welcome South African farmers in America, and then the rest that stays behind that wants to secure food security, to punish them for not going to America.
After a 3-month pause, Trump escalated his trade war on Monday, targeting over a dozen countries, including South Africa, with steep so-called reciprocal tariffs effective August 1st. The White House said the measures are aimed at addressing what Trump called unfair trade imbalances. With 3/4 of South Africa's freehold land white-owned, white farmers will be among those to face the immediate economic fallout. The country is the world's second-largest exporter of citrus fruit, after Spain. And while the United States accounts for only 6% of South Africa's citrus exports, some farming areas produce specifically for the U.S. market.
Farmers will go bankrupt. For sure there would be job losses within our sector. So the impact is enormous. I don't even want to think about it.
Andre Nell is the managing director of a citrus company with a warehouse not far from Morton's farm. He's holding out hope that a deal can be done between the two countries to minimize the negative impact on farmers.
I think there would be a solution that we can create with the American government to ensure that we continue expanding the trading environment within South Africa and the USA.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has said trade talks with Washington will continue. He has argued that the 30% rate was based on an inaccurate understanding of the two countries' trade.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Marginal risk of severe weather. Looking at foggy conditions this morning, scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon, and highs today in the low 80s. Partly cloudy skies this evening, giving way to considerable cloudiness and fog after midnight with lows in the mid-60s. Friday, morning fog, afternoon sunshine, mid-80s. Saturday, warm, partly cloudy, upper 80s. Sunday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Monday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville at 68 degrees, Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 68. Titusville 65, Franklin 67, Oil City 66 degrees here at 7:54. This is the morning drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Glad you're with us here on a Thursday morning as we roll through the week, getting you closer to the weekend. It's going to be kind of fun for us. We've got two kids that are taking part in soccer.
Yeah.
Playing in a tournament in Meadville on Saturday.
Separate teams.
Separate teams, but what's going to be fascinating is our oldest really hasn't been conditioning himself to play for a few years. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see if reality kind of hits or if it... Yeah, he's still young, so I mean...
So they don't play against each other during the tournament, but they could be the two final... This is optimistically,
Right.
They could be two final teams that do play against each other at the end.
Now, keep in mind, this is our oldest and our youngest.
Yes.
There's how many years difference?
7. Yeah, 7 years difference.
So, this should be a fun tournament to watch.
It should. It should be fun, and I'm not saying that they will be, but that could be the final outcome of it. And, of course, our oldest, who isn't conditioned and hasn't played in a couple years, is talking the smack, but we'll see. We will see.
Hey, I don't know if we mentioned this or not. This was kind of a big story this week, and I'm not sure. I'd have to look to see if it hits Pittsburgh. But nearly 20 years after airline passengers were first required to remove their shoes for security, TSA is looking to end shoes-off policy at many U.S. airports. It doesn't say all, it says many U.S. airports.
I can only think it's like an advancement in their technology, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we go, like, when we leave Pittsburgh, we have, like, multiple bins. We take off our shoes, and there's a bin, you know, we have to take out our laptops or our iPads, and there's a bin for everything. But when we're flying back and we're leaving, like, let's say a much larger airport, like Orlando, we don't have, like, we have to take our shoes off, but we don't have to use multiple bins, and we don't have to take things out. And it's a difference in their technology. Like, obviously Orlando's much bigger, or you know, much larger airport, so it's a difference.
I was also told that that's kind of a random thing too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they don't necessarily tell you if they're going to let you just go through having to remove your gear. But I was told both things. One, that if you have better technology, you can keep like laptops and things in your bag. But that it's also sort of a randomized thing as well. So word got out through social media that no longer, travelers no longer had to remove footwear when traveling through the airport. Now, this is a story from Pittsburgh. This one passenger said, it was on social media, the Cranberry resident said with a smile as she made her way through the maze of TSA lines on her way to visit her fiancé in Boston. I saw something about this on Instagram in the last 24 hours. I'm happy because my feet won't get dirty. As passengers made their way, many of them started to remove their shoes out of habit. And again, almost 20 years ago, and 20 years of having to do this, people just get used to it. But employees were stopping some travelers on Wednesday to tell them they no longer have to remove their footwear. U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced the new policy Tuesday via a news release, which will allow passengers traveling through domestic airports to keep their shoes on while passing through security screening. The new policy is designed to streamline the TSA security checkpoint process, leading to lower wait times.
And I don't think, I mean, you know, to revisit the reason we did it, it was just because of the terrorists. And
yeah. A TSA spokesperson confirmed via email that the policy is in effect currently at airports nationwide, including at airports in Pennsylvania. So
we have a few friends that are flying today and tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see, you know,
how that works out for them?
Yeah.
Good. Well, safe travels to them, and
yeah.
Hopefully that does speed some things up. Right? Let's hope.
Yeah, right?
A little bit.
I know. That'll be good.
Not that it was horrible. It was just...
I think it was... I mean, I think the hardest part is you get out on the other end, you're scrambling to get all your stuff so you're not holding up the line, and then you have to pause and put your shoes back on before you hit the next step, but you're already in a hurry, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Safe travels to everybody. Keep those shoes on. This is the Morning Drill.
The Morning Drill. The feline drill. The Morning Drill. Oh, feline drill. To Morning Drill.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh! Me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm.
Okay. All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Wall Street's main indexes closed higher on Wednesday, with the Dow adding roughly 0.5%, the S&P 500 gaining about 0.6%, and the Nasdaq climbing just shy of 1%. The minutes from the Federal Reserve's June meeting showed most central bank officials expect rate cuts later this year, with inflation from President Donald Trump's tariffs expected to be temporary or modest. Meanwhile, Trump on Wednesday issued trade letters to more countries, calling for tariffs of 30% on Algeria, Iraq, and others, and 25% on Brunei and Moldova. The European Union has said it could reach an outline trade agreement with the U.S. in the coming days. Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, said investors will likely remain on edge until more deals are reached.
Tense is the word I would use to describe this market right now. We're slightly positive on the day and on the week, and really it's around when are we going to see some more substantial information from some high volume trading partners. We've got a slew of letters that went out, nothing really impactful. Really all you have to work with is the Japan and South Korea. Those two combined make up roughly 12% of the imported goods volume, and 25% is within the acceptable tolerance. So we're just finding, waiting on bated breath for more news from higher volume trading partners.
Perhaps the biggest market news of the day may have come from NVIDIA, which became the world's first company to hit a $4 trillion market value Wednesday morning before giving back some gains. The milestone solidified the AI chip powerhouse's position as one of Wall Street's most favored stocks. Other movers included AES Corp, which rallied nearly 20% after Bloomberg reported that the power provider was exploring a potential sale amid takeover interest from large investment firms. And Boeing shares gained more than 3.5% as Susquehanna raised its price target on the stock after the plane maker reported its June airplane deliveries increased 27% on a yearly basis.
Joining us this morning is Kelly Clark, Marketing and Communications Specialist with Titusville Area Hospital. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Luke. I'm good. How are you doing?
Great. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
What's happening at Titusville Area Hospital?
There is so much happening, as always. Not even sure where to begin, but we can start with our expanded dental program. I know that's been talked about a little bit. So our dental clinic has been open for quite some time on a part-time basis. Recently we had Carrie German. She is a public health dental hygiene practitioner. She is now full-time within our dental clinic at the hospital. She is able to see patients full-time now, and which is really helpful because we see patients from kiddos all the way to adults, and it was a big step in the right direction for our dental clinic. And also we had some big news happening with University of Pittsburgh School of Dental Medicine is partnering with the Education Training Center at Pitt Titusville and also with Titusville Area Hospital. And we will be opening the state's first regional training program offering dental training and care.
That is incredible. That's
Yes.
Man, I don't know. I can't stress enough like how important this announcement is. Like this is a big thing.
Yes, so across Pennsylvania, there is a very large shortage of dental services, especially in rural communities. So offering this in Titusville is a huge deal. There will be a dental hygienist program, dental assistant program, and also licensed general practice dentists will be completing their residency program there.
That's great.
Yes, so after they finish their training, they can, set up their practices right here in the rural communities where they were trained and offer a lot more services.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but dentists in our region here are jumping up and down saying we need help.
Yes. There is, like I said, a very large shortage, and this was a push because of studies showed how large that shortage is, especially in the rural communities. So this was one of the things that they're going to probably start doing across the state, and to really push these doors open for an environment like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you trace it back to students who are struggling with issues with their mouth, and they're not learning. It's hard for them to pay attention. And I mean, more than a few years ago, you had like the Salvation Army open up a dental clinic at Oil City. I mean, this is a big thing. So,
and the Salvation Army is no longer seeing patients, and that created a shortage as well.
Right.
Just one of the reasons why we opened our dental clinic in the hospital several years ago. It filled a small need, but on a part-time basis, it just wasn't enough. So the opportunity to collaborate with the local Pitt Titusville here and the School of Dental was amazing. So we were glad to be a part of that and open those doors to some more providers in the area.
Wonderful. That's good news. Excellent.
It's very good news. Yeah. So that will all be, hopefully, we'll be starting that program in July of 2026.
I would imagine that's something you just don't like come to the table and say, hey, we're going to do this. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into planning for something like this.
Yes, it definitely was. And we've been working towards that with our own dental clinic. So we were already set up to start a program with them. So it was a good combination of their work put together and our work as well.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome news. Okay.
Yeah, good.
Next on the list.
So we are having a 125th celebration coming up. I know I talked about it a little bit before, but our hospital turned 125 this past March, and we will be doing a celebration at the hospital on July 10th. It will be from 4 to 6, and we will be unveiling a history wall. So anyone that is free that evening, please join us. We will have some opening comments starting at 4 o'clock, and we will have the unveiling of our new history wall. It will be in one of the main hallways of the hospital, and then we'll have refreshments, food in the cafeteria. So join us if you can. I hope you will, Luke, since you'll be filming it.
Oh, yes.
Like, don't act surprised about this announcement. You're coming.
Well, as the host, I need to. Oh, yes. That's great. No. I just think back 125 years. That's quite an achievement.
Right. Yes. So it was really fun to do the history wall and dig through all of the archives and see all of the changes that have happened over that time. We had quite a few of the auxiliary members in the past that have kept scrapbooks and just wrote down a lot of different things that happened, newspaper clippings. So it was a walk through 125 years of history at the hospital. So it was very neat.
I know you put a lot of work into this, and as you said with the research, it's nice when others can come to you and say, hey, I found this, or I've had this, but still, that's 125 years to go back through and try to pull things.
Yeah.
That takes some time.
And we did find, one of the folks that worked in the lab, she said, hey, I have this really old photo that's been hanging in the office since I started. And it was like one of the first photos of the hospital. And it was just hanging in a framed photo in her office for many years, and she's like, I don't know where it came from. So just different things like that found us. Different stories and things that people had in their office that they kept, and so it was interesting. So we really want a lot of people to come to our celebration, and if you're free that evening, please join us.
Did you have to catch yourself okay, we're spending a lot of time going through?
It kind of took on its own little job. We became historians. I said, well, I got my junior historian badge. Because it was, and you would think, okay, this is what we're gonna focus on, and then you'd find something so neat and be like, well, we got to include that now, and so it kind of became an animal all its own. So it was very fun, though.
And I'm sure you have people coming up to you and sharing stories of maybe their family members who had worked there, or had some attachment, and again, that opens up other doors.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. definitely.
Well, very nice. So that's coming up here in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, July 10th. Yeah. So we have Sean Leslie. She is joining us at the Oil Valley Internal Medicine. She has begun seeing patients there. She is working with Dr. McAllister, Lowe's, Popescu, and those folks down there. She's also a part-time hospitalist at the hospital. So she was a great addition to our hospital. So if you see a new hospitalist around, it may be Dr. Sean Leslie. So we're very excited to have her join us. And
very exciting. Very nice.
Yes. So we have a lot of new things happening as always. But we are also have our neurologist coming from MMC. She's joining us on a part-time basis and seeing patients in Titusville in her neurology office. Her name is Amy Kaufman. If you would like to schedule a neurology appointment with her, you still call the Meadville office, but just let them know you'd like to be seen in the Titusville office. The number for her is 814-333-3929.
Now, we've talked before, and maybe just kind of refresh people's minds. It's not always you just bring in specialists in for things. There's reasons behind this, whether maybe other staff coming to you saying, hey, I think it would be important to have, this offered to our patients, or through, maybe somebody going through and then they're getting a poll or filling out a survey, and you're going back and reading through those and saying, hey, there's kind of a common theme here. Again, that's a lot of work, but a lot goes into how and who gets chosen to come in for these specialties.
And with our partnership with Meadville Medical Center, they can see, hey, we have a lot of Titusville patients coming here for neurology. How about we come down there a couple days and make it easier on them? So that is one of the things that is helpful for being partnered with Meadville, is being able to see that need. And, hey, we have a lot of patients driving that way. Do you want us to come down and see your patients here? And it really opens those doors to keep folks close to home and use the services here. And, probably make it more, more available for the patients here because of transportation.
Are people surprised when they learn like that aspect of it? Titusville and Meadville are both thinking about like the patients in that regard.
Right.
Like, okay, let's offer this so that somebody's not traveling to, Erie or Pittsburgh or to another state or wherever.
Right.
We can offer that here, or at least we can offer this, which might save them a few of those other trips.
Yes, I think people are surprised. We're a critical access hospital, 25-bed hospital. But if you look at all of our services that we offer there, and some of them are on a part-time basis, but even if you can get some of your doctoring done close to home, there are things that we don't offer that you may have to drive for. So just to be able to add those couple of things that maybe make your life a little bit easier is very important to us.
I have heard within the last I would say month, several people say to me, and maybe not to me, but just in conversations I've had, oh yeah, I'm getting my knee done. There's a local guy, Dr. Gates, that's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
And they act surprised like that kind of quality is being offered. It's like, you just kind of say, hey, I know that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. And bringing those specialists here, instead of having to drive, sometimes an hour or more to have your knee replaced, and the follow-up care, things like that. If you could do it close to home, is just so much easier for you. Especially, like I said, if you're struggling with transportation, if you're fresh out of knee surgery, obviously you're going to have somebody be driving you back and forth. And if you can do that here, some of those arrangements are just so much easier for you to make.
Absolutely. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
You've worked hard throughout your lifetime, investing your resources to be prepared for the road ahead. As you reach new milestones, the Community Foundation is here to help you map out your charitable planning to get you where you want to go. One unique route to take is using the IRA charitable rollover, also known as a qualified charitable distribution. If you're 70 and a half or older, this simple tax-wise tool provides a way to take your required minimum distribution, skip the tax, and make meaningful gifts to directly support the causes you care about. Each individual 70 and a half and older can transfer up to $100,000 of IRA assets per year to public charities without being subject to federal income taxes on the distribution. If your dream destination is supporting causes you care about, using your IRA in partnership with the Community Foundation is a great way to get there. This flexible approach lets you customize your charitable journey. By taking advantage of the IRA charitable rollover through the Community Foundation, you can support multiple organizations through gifts to qualified charitable giving funds at the Community Foundation, or open a new fund to support a charity of your choice. The course you take to give back is as unique as you are. The Community Foundation looks forward to joining you on the journey.
Kelly Clark with us here this morning, marketing and communication specialist with Titusville Area Hospital. The other part of that, too, is I always think about those people, like, they'll drive a couple hours away to buy a car. And then, when it comes to maintenance, they're like, oh, my gosh, I have to drive all. It's like, yeah, if you would have bought it locally, you're staying. Right. But the aftercare, so the service end of the car thing, you've got, again, a great physical therapy office. You've got, all these pieces in place for the aftercare part of surgeries or treatment or whatever, the patient happens to be going through. That's all available here. So you're right. They can come and do that, and then they're home and they can relax or recuperate there. And they're not hours away. Right. It's so much better for the patient.
Right. And, the same can be said for dental. Due to lack of services in our areas, people are being forced to travel, outside of this area. So it's just one more thing that we're adding, that people are not going to have to travel outside of our service area. So
excellent,
exciting.
Any employment opportunities?
Yes. So we are hiring quite a few different positions right now. In hopes to gain some more full-time employees. We have started to put a post out on a weekly basis and put it at the top of our Facebook page. And it will be updated weekly or updated whenever we have new positions open, just to really push that out and let people know what we are hiring for. So we're hoping that will be a little bit helpful. Currently, we are hiring for an audiologist, a licensed clinical social worker for our behavioral health program. We need a medical technologist, a nurse manager in our oncology department. We are applying we're hiring rad techs, and we will take new grads. Even if you're new to being graduated, not sure if you're ready, please apply. We're taking all new grads. Registered nurses, we are always looking for we have sign-on bonuses available for those positions. So you can go to our Facebook page. You can also go to TitusvilleHospital.org and go to the careers page. Like I said, this will be at the top of our Facebook page on a weekly basis and will be updated. We are also adding a quick apply. So if it is not available yet, but it's something that we are working on. And it's really just so you don't have to fill out and you're like, I'm not really sure if I, qualify or if it's something that I want to do. And so maybe you're not going to fill out the entire 3-page application. So what we offer now is going to be a quick apply. So it's just a small form that you fill out online and submit it, and we can contact you based on that. So it's just a little bit easier, like I said, hopefully capture some more applicants and get people through the door.
Are there opportunities for high school students to do anything with the hospital and maybe kind of get a taste of what is available and maybe what direction they could go after they graduate?
So we do offer some job shadow programs there. That would go through our HR department if that's something that you were looking to do. We do offer, like I said, the job shadow, and that's a really good way to kind of see what the position is all about, and if that's something that you'd like to do. We do have schools come in also and kind of do an overview of the different programs and what it's like in the hospital behind the scenes. So that's something that our HR department does for the students.
Excellent. And then going back to Facebook, where you can find these career opportunities, a lot of other great information on there as well, so you can kind of go through and see what's been going on with Titusville Area Hospital. And
we update our Facebook page a lot. We push out a lot of our new services. It's a great way to learn about even old services. We might do a new campaign for them just to bring them to light and show the services that maybe have not been marketed for a while, because we seem to have new services all the time. But yeah.
Well, great. And I was just going through, you can see there's an outpatient Titusville Area Hospital physical therapy, patient testimonials. You can see, again, information on the dental clinic, career opportunities, and so many other things on there. So make sure you follow the Facebook page.
Yes, it is. It's a really great way to keep up to date with, like I said, our new services and things that are happening at the hospital. We always update our Facebook page as well as our website page. So definitely check them out. If you have any more questions or anything, and you're in your car driving and you may have missed what we were talking about, or you need a phone number, you can always also call the hospital. The hospital has all the information as well. If they're not sure, ask for the marketing department and I'll point you in the right direction.
Do you get a lot, I guess, maybe a dumb question, does the hospital get a lot of phone calls asking about specific services, or is it best for them to go to their doctor and have that conversation of, I think I might need this, or what's that step to get to some of these other departments?
So a lot of that kind of depends on the issue. Some services, absolutely, just call the office, make an appointment, have your first consultation, become an established patient. Some other things like the neurology that we just added, sometimes those are more targeted from your general practitioner. Maybe you're having migraines, or maybe you're having dizziness, things like that, and they'll point you in the direction of the neurologist. But there's really no wrong way to get the care. If you call the office and they say, we'd really like you to see your PCP first, then that would be your first step. But if you're already having symptoms and you're already making that phone call, chances are that they're definitely going to want to see you and bring you into the office to see what's going on.
Great. Yeah, don't ignore it. Take care of it.
Correct.
Kelly, good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks, Luke.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services, along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayan Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
Wall Street's main indexes closed higher on Wednesday, with the Dow adding roughly 0.5%, the S&P 500 gaining about 0.6%, and the Nasdaq climbing just shy of 1%. The minutes from the Federal Reserve's June meeting showed most central bank officials expect rate cuts later this year, with inflation from President Donald Trump's tariffs expected to be temporary or modest. Meanwhile, Trump on Wednesday issued trade letters to more countries, calling for tariffs of 30% on Algeria, Iraq, and others, and 25% on Brunei and Moldova. The European Union has said it could reach an outline trade agreement with the U.S. in the coming days. Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, said investors will likely remain on edge until more deals are reached.
Tense is the word I would use to describe this market right now. We're slightly positive on the day and on the week, and really it's around when are we going to see some more substantial information from some high volume trading partners. We've got a slew of letters that went out, nothing really impactful. Really all you have to work with is the Japan and South Korea. Those two combined make up roughly 12% of the imported goods volume, and 25% is within the acceptable tolerance. So we're just finding, waiting on bated breath for more news from higher volume trading partners.
Perhaps the biggest market news of the day may have come from NVIDIA, which became the world's first company to hit a $4 trillion market value Wednesday morning before giving back some gains. The milestone solidified the AI chip powerhouse's position as one of Wall Street's most favored stocks. Other movers included AES Corp, which rallied nearly 20% after Bloomberg reported that the power provider was exploring a potential sale amid takeover interest from large investment firms. And Boeing shares gained more than 3.5% as Susquehanna raised its price target on the stock after the plane maker reported its June airplane deliveries increased 27% on a yearly basis.
Well, here's a real quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Marginal risk of severe weather today. Mostly cloudy early, scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon. Storms may contain strong gusty winds. Highs today in the low 80s. Partly cloudy skies this evening becoming... You okay? Okay. Foggy tonight. Damp after midnight with lows in the mid-60s. Friday, partly cloudy skies, mid-80s for a high. Saturday, you're good. Saturday, partly cloudy, upper 80s. Sunday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Monday morning, rain showers with temperatures in the low 80s. Meadville this morning checking in at 70 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 70. Titusville, 69. Franklin this morning, 69. Oil City, 67 degrees here at 8:38. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Well, Angela Morton, I know she gets emotional when she joins the program, a little choked up over there, but doing well. Angela Morton is the consortium director with UPMC Western Behavioral Health at Safe Harbor. Also hosts the TV show Recovery Is on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, and she joins us here this morning. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Good. How are you, Luke? Thanks for having me. And explain that. I took a sip of water while you were doing the weather, and I said, am I the first person to make Luke Rio laugh during the weather report because I was choking?
Just watching you struggle over there.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
I hope you're doing well.
Thank you. All better now.
Okay, good. Good to see you this morning.
You too.
Summer's a busy time for you. It seems like there's a lot of events that happen in the summer, and it's great to get everybody out and together. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. Maybe you can explain this, but yeah, summer's a great time to provide some different types of programming with what you do.
Well, everybody's out and about in the summer, so we should try to find things to do all year round. I think it's easier. Everybody's so excited that in our climate, we have this great weather, and everybody's super busy for 3 or 4 months. But it's important to have a sense of community. And so the Recovery is NWPA grant projects you had mentioned, I work for Safe Harbor. Hammett Health Foundation is the grantee for regional grants through the Rural Communities Opioid Response Program. So we have grant funding for Venango, Crawford. Now it's Mercer, Clarion, Erie County. It was specifically the Corey area. Now we've got a number of grants that kind of encompass the whole region to address substance use in our areas and get people connected to services, break down barriers for people getting, recovery support or treatment if they need it, getting activities and things to do that are recovery friendly and family friendly, and of course prevention, working with youth and families to prevent future substance use.
So And maybe you can talk about this real quick before we get into the community aspect, which I think will be the theme this morning. But obviously, if grants are provided, there's a couple things going on. One, they're looking at needs in this area, right? And you've been doing this for a while now, where they're looking at it and going, okay, we're having some success here. We like what Angela's doing. We like what she's developing here, and the people working with you on this. That has to be something you're proud of, to be able to have that sort of impact here in Northwest Pennsylvania.
Yes, and I would say humbled, because it's not, I'm honored to lead the consortium for Hammett Health Foundation's grants. I can't take credit for the work. I can lead, I can create an umbrella of, an infrastructure of communication and services. Our consortium members that are listed on our recoveryiscommunity.org website, if you scroll down to the bottom, and there are links to every agency. We've got hospitals that like LECOM, Meadville Medical Center, UPMC Northwest, and Hammett, Crawford, Erie, Venango County Drug and Alcohol Offices, Primary Health Network, a lot of social service agencies. Thank you for pulling that up. And those are all live links to the agencies. So we have providers of behavioral health, like mental health and substance use care, primary care providers, managed care and insurance coverage. So all of those agencies are working together in different ways. Sometimes, behind the scenes in more quiet ways, maybe by providing training for their staff, and others are maybe front-facing by providing the facility for some activities or some events and helping coordinate them.
And you have people that are reaching out to you even today saying, hey, how can we be a part of this? How can we help? Which, again, goes along with that humble feeling, right?
Yeah, it's humbling. It's when I said that to you this morning, we have worked to build the consortium, and I wasn't here when they had a planning grant and started the consortium. Was a smaller group, but they started the consortium and then hired me to lead the group, and then we've added several others, and there may even be one or two missing because we've added some other entities recently. And in the last couple of months, we've had people reach out to say, hey, how can I become part of your consortium? So it's really blossomed into a network or a coalition of sorts that is working together to increase access to care, to do trainings, to reduce stigma, to have casual conversations about substance use so that we're not whispering about it and afraid to talk about it.
How many times have you, maybe in the course of having these conversations, are you running up against people that are protective of what they do and they're not quite sure of what you're providing, or they want to, but as they get to know you and as you explain what you're trying to do and partner, they're opening the door saying, oh, okay, yes, this is a good relationship.
That's interesting, because I don't think we've ever talked about that, but in any, growth and change in any situation can be uncomfortable. So you get kind of in a rut, or those dangerous words, this is how we've always done it.
Right.
That sometimes we say, here's this group of people and some grant funding that came in and are going to make us better, are going to tell us what we should do. There's no telling. This is a cooperative group of people saying, what can we do best to support our region and getting people connected? So maybe, I'm probably going to put this out. We have a consortium like visioning and networking event. We're getting together in person for the first time in a long time because we're all over the region. And it may be something I ask that, was it uncomfortable, or tell me how it was uncomfortable at first. Because I think there was that, let's build trust. Let's see what this means. What does the funding mean? How much control will we have over being able to use it and support people with it? Or is somebody going to come in and tell us what we should be doing more of or less of, or how to do better? And it really we built a relationship among our whole consortium where I think we speak pretty openly about it. And at this point, people would come forward and say, that's not how I really want to do it, but could we do this? Like, could we host a training about this? Or could do this somewhere different? And so I'm going to ask probably more directly, because we've not talked about it, but I think there is an element of change is hard and sometimes uncomfortable, and growth can be painful. But we've grown in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and people do get protective of their product or their approach to things. And, for some it can be kind of like, okay, let's take this slow and kind of figure out what we do and what you do, and hopefully we can come together.
The government, I think the reason they give funding to areas like ours is because in rural areas, people unintentionally or inadvertently get siloed into, I'm doing what I'm doing, you're doing what you are doing, stay in your lane. And it's not that there's not cooperation, but sometimes it becomes like there are territories of housing, mental health, drug and alcohol, primary care, obstetrics, overdose prevention, suicide prevention, and they get to be sort of proficient or expert people in each of those areas. And I've learned a lot over the last 5 years about being able to lean into somebody who knows a little more than I do about something, even if I am maybe a content expert in a certain area. But we can all learn from each other, and I think we're all learning that we can say, I hadn't thought about this angle, and maybe I want to do a little more of that at my agency.
Yeah, see, people are used to that 2-lane highway, and then Angela comes in with the carpool lane saying, hey, let's ride together.
Anybody who knows me and is listening, there are folks that would say, hey, yeah, we're doing great, and I love recognizing when we're doing great, but I'm not afraid of change. I'm a change maker. I'm a middle child, peacemaker of let's everybody get along and do something great together. So if we say, hey, my program is perfect and I can make no improvements, or I'm a perfect parent and there's nothing I can do better, I think those are, it's kind of a dangerous attitude, because it means you have no room for improvement, no room for growth. So even if we're doing great things, it doesn't mean there's not some room to listen to the consumers of those services to say, this was harder to get to than you realize. You expected me to come to you and jump through a lot of hoops, and you don't realize how high those hoops are when you're in pain, or you're withdrawing, or you're in poverty, or you don't have transportation to get there. So I think that breaking down those barriers, building the communication and the network is really important, and having a sense of community and front-facing with people, being with people at a community breakfast like this Saturday at FCCA in Meadville. The second and fourth Saturday of every month, they have a free breakfast, and we're hosting a corporal from Heritage Affairs with the state police who shares his own experience of trauma and how he became an officer to address some of our hate crimes and trauma in policing and community. So having those relationships with people and being in rooms with people who are receiving the services or who've been unhoused or are unhoused, and being able to talk to people and hear that, the nothing about us without us, for us to anybody to be a group of people saying, here's how we want to fix something without asking the people that are being impacted is we're missing the mark if we're not getting the people who need us involved.
We just brought up a couple of events, but it's really a month full of lots of things going on. So let's kind of talk about some of those big things and what to expect the rest of the summer.
Yeah, July and August are full. We have one of our grants, the psychostimulant support grant, is coming to an end. So anytime one of those 3-year periods ends, we're trying to make sure to dot our I's and cross our T's and tie up those loose ends and get things planned and utilize all of the funding and the resources. So we have, you probably have the website in front of you. So from memory, I'm going to go with on the 16th, which is next, I'm thinking in person, next Wednesday, we have somebody that we contract with to do compassion fatigue training. We get a lot of people who show up for her virtual sessions. So we've actually invited her to come from the other side of the state and do a workshop from 9 to 1 on the 16th at Vernon Place, 1 Vernon Place, Meadville Medical Center in Meadville up on the hill.
These are the...
Yes, so those are the virtual.
Trainings,
so there's a virtual on the 15th, but then the 16th she's coming to do a workshop called Healing the Healers. So anybody who's working with other humans in primary health care, behavioral health care, substance use, mental health, any kind of caregivers who feel like they need a little nurturing to address their own fatigue from being in a compassionate and caring situation or providership. So she's doing that on the 16th. We have someone coming on the 23rd for contingency management, another workshop at Meadville Medical Center's Vernon Place. And then Dr. Dwayhe is returning on the 29th of August for an experiential advanced intermediate motivational interviewing session. So anybody who has attended over the last couple of years motivational interviewing can come and have a day workshop where we practice the skills. And I'm doing a pop-up July 31st, it's probably not on the website yet. I'm going to do a pop-up noon to 1:30, a brush up on motivational interviewing, and for anybody who hasn't had it, to get a little bit of that, just to get a foundation before Dr. Dwayhe's session at the end of August. We also have big community events like the Titusville. This isn't our event, but we're partnering to participate at Ironworks here in Titusville. That's on Friday the 25th of July, I think, from 11 to, did I say 11 to 4, 11 to 3? And there are going to be a lot of vendors and giveaways and health screenings and resources. We have a community baby family shower for families with children under the age of 2 on July 22nd at FCCA in Meadville. I think that's from 3 to 6 p.m. We have tickets I'm getting for the Academy Theater, Alice in Wonderland. You reach out on the website to me. As soon as I have those purchased, people can reach out to me to get those. I'm probably missing, we've got a lot of things in Venango County too, like library events, Overdose Awareness Day, the end of August. So all of those things are either on our website or will be on the website in the coming days.
Okay, and if they go to recoveryascommunity.org, they can go to that tab, training and events.
Yes, that's the training and events. Some of the community events will also be on the calendar. The main page is Recovery is NWPA for Northwest Pennsylvania. recoveryisnwpa.org. And on the left, there's a button for if you need help. There's a calendar, like an interactive calendar, on that page. On the Recovery is Community page, it's more of the grant projects, training, professional connections, and resources.
Okay. And that's good to know, too, the difference between those two sites. So if you come across those, like the NWPA and the community.
Yes, they're both, you could reach us at either of those. I think my number is at the bottom of each of those pages. There are links to get a hold of your local county drug and alcohol offices if you need recovery support, case management, treatment, regardless of your ability to pay, Narcan, drug testing strips, overdose prevention supplies. So your county offices often have those for free, so you can just call and say, hey, I need some Narcan for overdose reversal. I want to have it on hand, or I'd like to get involved. I'd like to come to some trainings. I'd like to become a certified recovery specialist and use my lived experience to help other families.
Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Angela Morton with us here this morning. The other great thing is whether you're an individual or a family, there are support groups available. It's just a matter of calling, right, to kind of see what's available and when it's available?
Yes. So we put a lot of links on our website to other resources like Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, like the traditional 12-step fellowship. There are lists of meetings in every region. There are support groups at our consortium partner agencies like Safe Harbor and CHAPS and activities at FCCA and Center for Family Services. Here in Titusville, there's lots of activities. We're trying to get more engagement over here too. So we appreciate even conversations like this and you always having me here every month to talk about this, because it's how people get more comfortable. If it means that somebody hears us talking and they decide to talk about their own substance use or wanting to cut back or wanting to drink a little less or make sure they're not misusing a prescription or talk to their family about it, the more frankly we can talk to each other like any other medical condition, the more likely we are to open up to each other when we need to.
We were talking before coming on. I was asking you, I think, about addiction. What's more addictive? Is it, or trying to maybe recover from an addiction? Is it on the alcohol side? Is it the drug side? And we were both kind of talking about alcohol. It's so available and so accepted,
socially accepted.
Yeah, that it's everywhere. It is, again, that was sort of an interesting conversation because people seem to be, okay with that. But really, there's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah, and I don't think there are sides per se. Like when you said, is it the alcohol side versus the drugs? I think that I've talked to so many people seeking recovery or in recovery or actively using substances or drinking alcohol. as a substance, alcohol is still the number one culprit for ER visits and health conditions and death. So it's still the most dangerous, even if it is socially acceptable and accessible. I've talked to people who would say it was harder. They'd say, I can never pick up a drink again. I've tried many times to cut back. I've tried to moderate. I've tried to just drink once in a while, and it just never works for me because that happens to be the one thing I have a really hard time with. And maybe they are using nicotine, smoking, or vaping, or medical marijuana, or something else, but would say that alcohol was really difficult. I've talked to other people who would say, I can have a social drink, and I only do it about 3-4 times a year. But if anybody ever came up to me with coke or meth, then I would have a really hard time because I had a hard time getting, away from that. So everybody's wired differently. We're still learning so much about the neurology, the biology of addiction, and understanding how it changes our brain. Any of us can pick up anything at any time. So when we delay that age of first use while our brains are developing, especially, in youth, up to early to mid-20s, that we can at least then, if somebody chooses to try something, a pill, a cigarette, a drink, a joint, that when your brain is developed and isn't creating those new pathways, you're not as high a risk of dependence. That doesn't mean everybody should pick something up right now because we're over 25, but really just being aware of all of us are wired differently. People would say, I'm never going to get addicted. Nobody ever wakes up and says, I think I'll try something, and 2 years from now I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to be addicted. Nobody goes into it thinking that could happen. But it can happen to anybody, and we never know how we're going to respond to something. And there's so many details of our genetics, our makeup, our wiring, our own emotional state, our experience of trauma, what we're trying to feel versus not feel, or drown out or numb. So everybody's going to use something differently, and it might impact you, and it might not impact me.
Well, and I think the other thing, again, you could have two people with the same, symptoms of something go into the doctor, and the diagnosis or the treatment is going to be completely different for each one. So the point I'm trying to make is everybody's different, and we can't, and something that I think you've been trying to get across for as long as you've been joining us here is you can't just pigeonhole people into this category. Everyone is different. Some of the paths may start out the same, but that course and that journey that they're on is going to be different for everybody.
There's no one right way to recover. Yeah. So if it means that somebody is quitting completely, and I respect the programs and the complete abstinence that a lot of people choose, while I also respect that there are people who cut back and are using ways to reduce risk, and they're still managing their lives. So recovery is going to look different for everyone, and there's no wrong way to recovery.
Let's wrap up, again, the community aspect with a lot of events this month, next month, but just that feeling, that sense that I know you had a big smile on your face when you were telling me that it's great to see people come together, and that's sort of the theme for this summer.
Yeah, when you have kids coming up and playing a game and maybe getting to take a game home with them and being with their parents and saying, Mom or Dad or Grandma, Grandpa, come over, brothers and sisters, come and play this game with me. And you're seeing families together, it gives you a little bit of a chill because we all know that we need that. We hope we can find that, memory of simple times and create more of those so that when kids are struggling, or if they ever are approached, they can have trusted adults to talk to and be with and feel connected to, but also adults can feel that sense of connection and belonging that we all need. We might resist, we might even say, I'm not a people person, which many of us are not, but there's still a sense of belonging and community and humanity by just being together, sharing a meal, going to breakfast, playing a game together, or just showing up at a health fair and seeing some other people and getting some resources.
Whether it's community events or training sessions that are offered, there's a lot of great trainings available. You can go to the website to learn more. So,
great.
Angela, great to see you this morning.
Great to see you too. Thanks for having me, Luke.
All the best.
You too.